What up, though? This is Cuban Doll. Shout out to J Money 1041 gang.
Before Cuban Doll would amass a social media following of 75,000 followers on Twitter and 1.4 million followers on Instagram at the time of this recording. Before Cuban Doll became a viral rap star, working with the likes of Lil Yachty, Lil Baby, Asian Doll, and Molly Brazzy, and dropped bangers like Racks Up, Let It Blow, and Bankrupt.
But yeah, man, we got Miss Cuban Doll in the mother.
You know who it
The one and only, you feel me?
The one and only, Cuban da Savage.
Before Cuban Doll was feuding with former friend Asian Doll.
Cuban, she started hating.
Before Cuban Doll's name was dropped, involved in the high-profile breakup of Cardi B and Offset.
We're not together anymore.
Cuban Doll is a rapper slash model hailing from Dallas, Texas, rapping since the age of 18. While the performer, she's been lighting up social media not only with sexy photos, but also two popular mixtapes, Cuban Link and Aaliyah Keef, not to mention her breakout track Bankrupt. Now, I mentioned in our last profile of this rapper that she was on the cusp of becoming a household name. And with all the headlines she's been generating throughout 2018, I'd say my prediction was pretty bang on. But not all of the attention on Cuban Doll has been in the best of taste. There was her beef with Asian Doll, a chick I certainly wouldn't mess with. There was her domestic abuse scandal involving Chief Keef's cousin Tadoe, and the most publicized scandal of her career just happened when Cuban Doll was linked in an attempted threesome with Cardi B's former man Offset. Talk about tea. What's going on, guys? It's your boy Michael McCrudden coming at you with an updated video on Cuban Doll, here for you of course before they're famous. Now, the last time we took a shot at this video, you guys blew up my DM sending me more and more information. I also heard through our sponsor, Candy Pens, that Cuban, she watched the video and she had no idea how famous she had become. She also stated that she used to watch my videos when she was on the come up. Now, we're always working off suggestions on who to do next, so you guys gotta let us know in the comments down below. Alright, now let's get back into Cuban Doll. Felt bad just saying that. Hey, be sure to subscribe and hit that bell. Boom!
If you stay with your mama and you pay the bills, then that's okay. Cause I know a lot of people be like offended by this song. They be like, I stay with my mama, but I do this and that.
Cuban Doll was born on May 12, 1998 in an area of Dallas, Texas known as Oak Cliff. Now, many think the rapper's real name is Aaliyah Keef due to the name of her mixtape. In fact, it even states that that's her real name over on the famous birthdays profile. And back when we did our first video, well, we guessed that that wasn't true. And by the looks of things, well, we were correct once again. That's a home run. Now, we actually did a deep dive to find her actual birth name, and according to one fan-made Tumblr account, her name is Taylor Star Williams. And if you don't believe me, well, take a listen from the horse's mouth. What a beautiful horse she is.
People from my city know me as Taylor Blood, like, you feel me? They be like, oh, that's Taylor.
Well, her name has led people to believe that she's of Cuban origin, while the rapper is actually of mixed race. As it turns out, Cuban's mom, she's white, while her dad is black. Now, as for her stage name, well, according to an interview, she chose the name Cuban Doll when she was younger, and kids, well, they would call themselves dolls based on their ethnicities. Originally, she called herself China Doll, but then she realized that that would be too confusing, being as her best friend's name, well, it was Asian Doll. So she randomly settled on Cuban Doll not long after. She probably just spun a globe and was like, that one. She could have been Irish Doll. Oh, I wish. Cuban Doll had quite the unpleasant upbringing. According to sources, she was raised by her mom, who went to jail when Cuban was only 15 years old. This forced her to take care of her nieces and nephews all on her own.
Mom went to jail when I was 15, so just like raising yourself to be a woman. At the end of the day, it made me a better person, stronger.
Now, her mom's incarceration, it later forced the young family to be separated. While her older brother was independent, Cuban stayed with a friend, while her younger brother went to live with her grandmother. It appears that Taylor, she is the middle child of three, with a younger and an older brother. Now, originally from Dallas's north side, she moved around frequently throughout her youth. She stated in an interview, "We stayed everywhere. I went to a lot of schools too. I feel like I was bipolar in school. One day I'd be good, one day I wouldn't want to deal with it." Cuban Doll has spoken about her family. Apparently, they're all a little crazy. One Christmas, she and her uncle, they were swerving in a Target parking lot when he lost control of the vehicle, and he almost flipped over the car.
And he thought it was funny. We thought it was funny too, we almost crashed.
She described this incident as being traumatic. Now, Cuban Doll, she also says that when she was around the age of 10 years old, well, the family, they had a dog, but it only stayed around for 2 weeks after she lost it. In her teens, she was dating a boy who was on house arrest, and then he forgot to get her a gift on Valentine's Day. He then left his home to quickly walk and buy a gift, and needless to say, the cops found out and picked him up. and apparently the dude, he's still in jail. Now Cuban, she had no contact with her mother while she was locked up, and as a result she had no idea when she was getting out. After serving 3 years, well, she was released, but by then Cuban Doll was already 18 years old, and she was making moves in music. Cuban Doll grew up listening to both hip-hop and R&B music, a fan of music her entire life, and you can definitely see a hard hip-hop influence on her tracks. While she grew up admiring Nicki Minaj, Missy Elliott, and Lil' Kim, there are 2 artists in particular that caught her attention. One was Southside Chicago rapper Chief Keef. She stated, "I looked up to Keef because he said whatever he wanted with no filter, and I wanted a chance to say whatever I wanted, so he inspired me to do that." But Keef wasn't Cuban's only idol. Moving on to the R&B side, she also loved singing to the late great Aaliyah. Aside from both artists influencing her music, they also contributed to the name of her mixtape, Aaliyah Keef. She stated, "I'm the female version of Chief Keef, and I'm a legend like Aaliyah. People were telling me I couldn't do anything with that name, and I love doing what people say I can't do." Although Cuban Doll hails from the South, Cuban Doll's style and sound is often compared to Chicago and Detroit rappers. This seems appropriate considering Cuban's past statements that her Dallas upbringing didn't exactly influence her music. She has gone on to mention that because her hometown doesn't really have an established rap scene, well, most artists, they go to move somewhere else. They fuck with everybody else. They know all the rappers from Detroit that are underground. They know all the Chicago rappers or the Atlanta rappers. Dallas, they don't really fuck with. They go outside. Prior to getting deep into music, well, Cuban Doll, she was posting pictures on social media, and she described herself as being Facebook famous. Now, we went searching for her old account, but were unable to find any photos. There have been several fake accounts that have been made in the time since, but Cuban Doll was always posting photos online because at the time, well, she had aspirations to become a model. At the age of 18, she began dabbling in rap music herself. She would hang around nearby studios and she would write down her music on her cell phone. Now Cuban, she already had a heavy presence on social media, so she decided to use her contacts around the city to help and get her foot in the door. But then all of a sudden, Cuban Doll found some work kind of as a DJ. She had a friend of hers who was a performer who needed someone to play her beats while she was on stage. What kind of stage are we talking about? Well, your guess is as good as mine.
I wasn't really a DJ, like I was just, setting up shows like for my homie, just doing it because she needed a DJ, so I was like, oh, I can be a DJ.
Now, we read through all your DMs and a lot of you guys came forward with info talking about Cuban Doll and Asian Doll working at a strip club. Before we get into that, well, it looks like it's getting a little smoky in here. You've all heard of Candy Pens, right? Well, if the name doesn't ring a bell, I got a good feeling you've seen them before. Candy Pens was named Best Vaporizer of 2018 by High Times due to its combination of popular technology and flashy design. And Candy Pens, well, they've quickly become the go-to choice for vaping in the rap community. They've got co-signs from DJ Khaled, Fatboy SSC, Young M.A., Amber Rose, and A$AP Rocky. A$AP, he's got his own line called the Flacco Jody Collection, and Amber Rose, there's reasons you've seen billboards of her all over Los Angeles, because she's promoting her own signature line. Now, Candy Pens are for those 18 years and older, and seeing as I'm the official YouTube ambassador, well, they've given me the ability to get you 25% off your entire order during checkout. Of course, there is a link down below. Use the promo code BTWF25. Now let's get back into Cuban Doll. When it comes to rumors about Cuban Doll working as a stripper, well, there's no actual evidence that exists online. But that doesn't mean those from her native state of Texas aren't talking in online forums. In the comment section of our last video made on Cuban Doll, well, one user by the name of Justice MSP, well, she had this to say. She was popping on Facebook and in a group named No Really Gang. Her and Asian were stripping at one point, probably was underage, and all my sources are real. I have her old Facebook and old Instagram account if y'all want it. I love Cuban. I decided to message Justice, just looking to see these pics, see what we could find, and if she gets back to me, and the proof is in the pudding, well, maybe we'll have to update this again. I'll let you know in the comments down below what comes from it. It didn't take long for Cuban to start taking her music career very seriously. Her debut single, titled Get Money, it dropped in November of 2016. Now, Cuban's rise to fame, it's been documented in our original Before They're Famous. We talked about her breakthrough, so let's just roll a quick clip from that. It wouldn't be long before higher profile collaborations and major outlets, well, would be interested in Cuban Doll. And this would all come together with her feature on Lil Wop's Bombay. Now, Cuban Doll has had a fantastic year in 2018. I mean, on Instagram, she even got a follow from the likes of Cardi B. But when it comes to 2018, no one reigned as queen quite like Cardi B herself. Then in the wee hours of December 4th, 2018, well, Cardi took to IG to announce that her and Offset were probably gonna get a divorce. And this was over them being together for like just over a year. I said over twice. Anyway, it was sad.
Things just haven't been working out between us for a long time, and it's nobody's fault. It's just like, I guess we grew out of love.
Now, as usual, the story made its rounds, and the Bronx rapper, well, she was met with an outpour of support from her millions of fans. Now, as the story continued to develop, well, news had circulated that Cuban Doll may be in the middle of her and Offset's ending relationship, with publications suggesting that Offset, he perhaps wanted a little action on the side. Now, according to the online source Gossip, just before Cardi B took to the gram with her announcement, well, Offset posted an angry tweet where he was seemingly addressing a certain female. According to the tweet, which was then soon deleted, well, he stated this: "I never tried to convo with you hoes, cap, 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 leave me and my family out the cap. Bust out toes with no bag, good on the thoughts." There were alleged text messages between Cuban Doll and Offset, which were released by a girl by the name of Foreign. She's better now known as Summer, and she's allegedly a friend of Cuban's, or at least she was. She's now an ex-friend. And apparently the two, they had a big falling out. But like, when you go and like leak this kind of information, you can't expect to stay friends, you know what I mean? Now, the text messages, they dated all the way back to June, and they indicate that the girls, they were so friendly in fact, that Offset apparently invited the Cuban Doll and Foreign to come down to New Orleans for a good old-fashioned threesome. Now, according to sources, Cuban Doll is apparently a huge fan of Cardi B, and upon the news of the text, well, Cuban Doll took to Twitter to let out some of the good old-fashioned keyboard rage. Her tweet stated, "These bitches be so ready to switch sides, it's crazy. It's like we were never friends. How could you turn on me? Would love to help destroy me." She also went online with a video addressing her supposed friend.
Me and the whole Glow gang use that bitch. We just use her to drive us around, like her drive us around, bitch. Hold this, hold this.
Yeah, this is quite the scandalizing tale, and I think it's just gonna keep unfolding and just get bigger and bigger. At the end of the day, it's just getting Cuban Doll's name out there, and like I said in our original Before They Were Famous video, if I had to place money on an artist that I think that's gonna pop, well, Cuban Doll would certainly be one I'd be betting on. I think she's gonna be a big star. As for the rest of the story, well, I guess we'll just have to wait and see, because this is Before They're Famous. My name is Michael McCrudden, and we make all sorts of celebrity bios here for you on this channel. We also now have famous news. There's links down below to 2 more videos you might want to check out, and I'll see you guys in another video. Boom!